Hey guys, how you doing? Right, this is going to be a video talking about the games I've been playing recently, and there's quite a few actually. I'm going to start by talking about games that I'm currently playing, that I've started in the last few days or the last few weeks, and then I'll talk about the games I've actually completed. There's quite a few I've got on the go at the moment, and there's a couple that I've completed, so it could be quite a long video. Hence I've got my drink just in case. Right, okay, first off, I'm going to talk about Epic Mickey on the Wii. Really like this game a lot. A lot of people say the camera's really bad, and that's the thing that lets the game down. Me personally, I didn't find it that bad because you can manually change it using the Wiimote. You just use the D-pad, and you can. It's not perfect by any means, but it does help to control it a lot more. I can understand why people get annoyed because the camera can get right up in. Like a lot of these games that annoy me with the camera gets right behind Mickey, and it frustrates you because it blocks your view, stops you seeing where you're going, and it's very annoying. But I didn't find it that much annoying that it stopped me playing the game. And so, as I say, the manual control kind of helped a little bit, so it wasn't too bad. And I think overall the game so far, I've got quite far into it. I've really enjoyed it. The graphics are just stunning. I love the art style of this game. I think the storyline is really good as well. You know, using characters that were discarded by Walt Disney, which was a really cool idea. And the paint and finish really works well as well. I like the fact that you can, if you get stuck, you've got to think about what you're doing. You can like thin down a wall and walk around the back and come out the other side and then paint it back up, or you can, in certain sections, to help other characters to cheer them up and to get respect, you can paint the town for them and paint their houses back, and it's just a nice little game. And I've got to say, I love the 2D sections. I love the old school Mickey Mouse Disney style 2D gaming. I think that's brilliant. It's just really, really fun to just chill out with. And that's the thing with this game, it's not too hard, it's not too complicated, and it's just a simple game you can sit down with and just have a couple of hours with, and it's just a really, really fun title, and I'd definitely recommend it. I've really enjoyed it. So the camera can be frustrating, but you can also start using the D-pad for manual adjustments. However, I can understand why people get frustrated. It's nowhere near as bad as Enslaved, so I like it. Epic Mickey is a good game. Next up, these will be the Wii titles first, I think. Actually, no, thinking about it, there's a couple on the ones I've completed as well. There's quite a lot of Wii this time. I've been playing a lot of Wii games. Next one up is a game I played recently, which was Sin and Punishment, Successor of the Skies, or Sin and Punishment 2. Really great game. Did a Saturday night special on this, and this is more of an arcade experience. This is the kind of a game you just dip in and out of, at least I do anyway. It's not a game I'm going to just plow hours in and play constantly. I just like to play it when I feel the need. And it's just really fun. It's a beautiful graphics, absolutely fantastic scenery, great character design. Storyline's a bit weak, but I don't expect a lot from this type of game really. I think it's just a visual treat for a Wii game as well, being standard definition. They really did make the effort, and there's some absolutely fantastic looking levels, fantastic bosses, and it's starting to get really tough now. It's like bullet hell in a way in certain parts, and I find it difficult because I'm not used to playing these kind of shooters, trying to work out the patterns and where I'm supposed to be placing my character so I don't keep getting hit. And I die quite a lot, but it's just that addictive that I just keep going back for more. And if you don't know what this game's about, just go and check out my Saturday special, because it's definitely one to be playing. It's really, really fun. It's essentially just a basic shooter with stunning graphics, but it's just got that something about it that just grabs you and just pulls you in, and you just don't want to put it down. It's a really, really fantastic game. Next up is a game I started yesterday, and I'm not too sure about this one. It is Red Steel 2. I played the original Red Steel, and although it could have been a good game, it was hampered severely by the crappy controls and the fact that the guy would just spin around. It was terrible. It was a launch title, so I can let that go. I understand that. Red Steel 2 is just slightly different. It's more of a cel-shaded look, and it's set in like a sort of neo-apocalyptic western kind of weird futuristic. I don't know. It's really weird. The problem I've got with the game so far is the fact that all you seem to do is you seem to go into a room, get an objective, go out of the room into the world, slap a couple of people around with a sword, or shoot them in the leg, or whatever you want to do. Like usually it's an objective like protect somebody and save them or something, and you go back to the room, get another objective, come back out, do the same sort of thing. It's kind of boring. I'm finding it so far. I don't really think it's that good. I'm not too sure. I mean, I've not played enough of it. I only played a couple of hours of it yesterday, but it really isn't grabbing me at all. I'm just kind of like, yeah. And the motion control and all, it was using Wii Motion Plus, yet for some reason in the training sections you would have to like hold the Wiimote up here and do a long sweep. But when I'm doing that, for some reason the character on the screen is raising his arm with that arm instead of his left arm. And so you're trying to hit the right hand of the side of the dummy, and it's getting hit on the left hand side, and I was getting really frustrated. And I don't know if that's something to do with the configuration or it's just that the motion controls on the Wii aren't that particularly brilliant. It could be a combination, I don't know, but I wasn't impressed. And yeah, I can't connect with the game at all so far. It's just okay. I might go back and play it some more when I'm bored and I've got nothing else to play, but not that impressed. Next up is a game I started last night and love this. It's Mortal Kombat for the PS3. Fantastic. Really cool. I've only just done a couple of matches so far, playing the story mode. And I've got to say, for a fighting game, they've done a great job on the story mode. It really well tells the story well. The acting's reasonable. It's not like, you know, top tier, but it's in the middle. So it's good. It's not crap. It's not great. It's just decent enough for what you need. And I like the fact that with the story mode, they're making you play with all the different characters. I played with Johnny Cage. I played with Sonya Blade. It's really good that it's just moving through each of the characters, because I think that way, for anyone new to the series, it gives the player the opportunity to find out which characters they're good with and which characters they're bad with. So when they play against their friends, online or offline, they can automatically find the perfect character for them, which I think is a really good idea. Me personally, because I played Mortal Kombat in the past, I know who I'm good and who I'm bad with. And yeah, playing with Sonya is really not good. I absolutely suck with Sonya. She's just, I just can't play her. She's crap. Generally, I always play with Sub-Zero, who's my favourite. And I'm always more of a Street Fighter fan, so I'm not that good at Mortal Kombat. But this one, I really like the fact that it's so accessible. I've literally found myself just playing it and not getting my ass kicked. You know, on Mortal Kombat 2 on the Super Nintendo, I can't play it because as soon as the game starts, I'm on the floor. I just can't even get a move off. I just get absolutely slaughtered on. Most of the Mortal Kombats have found that. But this one, it's really, really good. It really does give you a chance to survive. And I've not worked out any X-ray moves or fatalities or anything yet, unfortunately. But I've seen them done to me, and they look fantastic. The graphical style is just awesome. And I love the surround sound. As subtle as it is, when the guy says fight at the beginning, and it just echoes around the room, it's just an absolutely beautiful experience. And it's a stunning game. I like little things in this game, things like where the gameplay, you'll be playing the story mode, and they'll have a little cutscene, they'll have a little dialogue between the characters, and then they'll go, right, I'm going to battle you now. And then the camera goes like that and sweeps, so you see the two against each other. And I thought it was a really nice little touch. Yeah, it's a really good game. There's a lot more I need to look into because I've only just started the game, so obviously I've only just scratched the surface. But Mortal Kombat is definitely a winner. Very impressive, and I don't want to say it's better than Street Fighter 4, but it does feel like it is. Because there are things about Street Fighter 4 that niggle me, like the silly American accents. You know, nothing against Americans, it's just the actors they chose have got really crap voiceovers and really cheesy dialogue, and I prefer it when they're speaking Japanese. It sounds a lot better. So, yeah, I much prefer Mortal Kombat. Very cool. Right, I'm going to get on to the games that I've actually completed now and give you my full impressions. This will be interesting. Where should we start? Well, I'll start them in the order I played them. First one, Homefront. Now, obviously this game got slaughtered at the reviews, and yeah, I wasn't expecting much from it and didn't get a lot from it. I think graphically it looks reasonable. It's sort of like halfway between last generation and this generation. There's sections where it looks absolutely stunning, and then the sections where it looks like an Xbox game, original Xbox, and the character models look very blocky, and it's just like, yeah, okay. I think, I'm trying to think of positives. Well, the positive is that at the beginning of the game, when the story kicks off, I thought the storyline was really good. And at the beginning, you're dragged out of your house, put on a bus with loads of other civilians, and it's a really nice sequence where you're driving through the streets, and you can see all this absolutely horrific, I don't know how to put it without spoiling it, but you see all these horrific events happening and unfolding before your eyes, and some of the stuff really did shock me. It was actually made me jump. It was like, bloody hell. It was a bit grim. And it really got you in the mood for the game and really gave you a sense of what was actually happening with North Koreans taking over America. And I thought it was excellently done. Unfortunately, as soon as the game starts, it all falls apart because the gameplay is just crap. It's just so boring. And it's the same old rubbish you've seen a million times. It's got the same kind of Call of Duty controls and weapons. It's very last generation in the fact that when you talk to characters, you get this generic rubbish where you go up to random characters and they go, oh, you're the guy that saved that person, or you're the guy that just won the war for us, thank you very much. And it's just like, oh, Jesus Christ, I don't want to hear this shit. It's just really stupid, and it just frustrates me because it's so last generation. Like, you get the standard where you get one of your characters who'll be like the angry character who's getting pissed off because the leader of the group won't go and do what he wants to do, and he won't attack, he wants to be more strategic, and it's just like, do we really need this? I mean, this is like HD generations. The PlayStation 3 and 360, they should not be doing this now. It should be more advanced. You know, when you play games like Heavy Rain, Uncharted, they have proper dialogue, proper acting, you know, high class quality. This is crap. Capital C. It's just terrible. Terrible game. And the worst thing I found about the game was that it's only about, I think it took me about 4 to 5 hours to complete. And the end of the game, it just like that. You're like, hang on, what's going on? It's really weird. It's like you're playing a level, you finish the level, and then the credits roll. It's as if the developers went, you know what, this is actually a pile of shit, and they just give up. It was really weird. There was no ending at all. It's really strange. It's sort of like out of the blue. Yeah, it's a terrible game, and I don't even think I would recommend playing Homefront if you could buy it for a £5, because I don't think it's worth a £5. I don't think it's worth the plastic it's pressed on. It's that bad. I'm really disappointed in it. You know, I kind of hoped that I would get something out of it and enjoy it, and it wasn't as bad as all the reviews had said it was. But for once, the reviews were absolutely accurate. Total crap. Right, next up is a game that I absolutely love, and it's a game for the Wii, and it is called Conduit. Now, this game's been out for absolutely ages, and I was never really that interested in it. I just thought it looked okay. I'd seen a couple of gameplays and didn't really grab me or didn't really interest me in the slightest. But I've got to say, it's an absolutely stunning game. It's essentially a Wii version of Halo with a few little different tweaks, but I really like it a lot. Yeah, I was just so blown away by this game. I thought the graphics looked stunning. You know, for a Wii title, they really did an impressive job. The gameplay is really nice and tight. The controls are excellent. Because you're using the Wiimote and a nunchuck, you do have to use little gentle movements, because obviously if you go too mental, you tend to spin around, and you always get that with first-person shooters on the Wii, unfortunately. But you know, if you're careful with it and you play it right, you'll be fine. I think the audio is excellent. The characters were superbly written. The acting is spot on. I really like the acting in this game. It was exceptionally well done. And I like the conspiracy theory storyline with the Illuminati. I thought that was a really cool touch. You know, I always had an interest in that kind of thing, so I found it really interesting to watch and play through. And I have to say, I thoroughly enjoyed the whole game. I like the fact that they went for the thing that annoys me the most in most of these games, which is constantly spawning enemies. However, to counteract that, to make it viable, what they did was they created this thing called the Conduit. And the Conduit is where they transfer the enemies through. They come through the Conduit. And in order to stop the enemies coming, you have to destroy the Conduit. And sometimes you have egg sacs on the wall that spawn enemies as well, so you have to destroy those. So there is actually a valid reason why you're getting continuous amounts of enemies coming at you, and I like that, because it annoys the shit out of me in games when they throw tons and tons of enemies at you to try and make a game hard, like they're doing Resistance. And to me, it never ramps the difficulty up. It just makes the game too difficult and makes you get pissed off and turn it off, and I think that's stupid. But in this, you actually get a valid reason as to why it's happening, and I like that. I have to say, there was one level in particular where you go into the cityscapes, and the level of detail for a standard definition Wii game was really impressive. It looks stunning. Now, I loved every single minute of this game, played it right through to the end, and absolutely adored it. And it left you on a cliffhanger, which was really good. And it was just excellent that they threw in a little thing called the ASC, the All-Seeing Eye, which is essentially just a globe, and you hold it up like that, and you can hack computers and access doorways and things. And there's little puzzle elements to open up secret areas where you can find weapons, which I thought was a really cool touch as well. And it just seems like a really well thought out, fleshed out game. There are obviously Halo elements, like some of the enemies look blatantly Halo, and you get little enemies that run around and make all the little squeaky noises like the guys in Halo do. It's blatantly ripping off Halo. But I don't care. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I love sci-fi, love first-person shooters, and to combine the two and get it right, it's just impressive. So yeah, I mean, it's a Sega game, and very, very good. Highly recommend it. If you've never tried it, or you've been like me, you was like, oh, I'm not too sure. It's so cheap now. I got this for about £3.50, so go and pick it up. It's excellent. Now, the next game I'm going to talk about is a game I don't own anymore because I traded it in, and I never trade games in. However, this game is such a pile of crap I had to. And that game is the sequel to this one, the Conduit 2, which came out recently. Where do I start? The Conduit 2 is like this. That's how shit it is. It makes you just want to cry. It is the most biggest pile of crap I've ever had to sit and play through. It's even worse than Homefront. I'd recommend you play Homefront over the Conduit 2. It's that bad. Diabolical game. Basically, it begins where the last one ended. So you start off where the first game ended. And I thought, this is going to be good. No, it's not. They've modified the controls to use Wii Motion Plus, so that is a big plus, actually. That's like a pun, but no. But no, it really is. It's a lot better because you can get accurate headshots and it's really nicely done. Graphically, it looks decent. It's pretty reasonably done, not too bad. I suppose it's a little bit of a step up from the original, but not much. What else can I say that's positive about this game? Yeah, that's about it, really. The biggest thing that really, really winds me up about the Conduit 2, they changed the actor for the original. Excuse me. They changed the actor for the title role, and I was so frustrated because they chose to use the guy that does Duke Nukem. I have absolutely no idea why the hell they gave him the job. I'd like to know why the original actor isn't in the game if he decided not to do it anymore and they had to find a new actor, or they just didn't want him. I don't know why, because he was great. But the Duke Nukem guy, he doesn't know what game he's doing. He thinks he's still doing Duke Nukem forever. I swear to God, even at one point I got so pissed off about this. I was playing the game and I was shooting away and he was coming out with these stupid quips like he would in Duke Nukem, which makes sense in Duke Nukem but not in the Conduit. And he just turns around and he goes, "Come get some." And I was like, what? I was like, you cannot do that. That's Duke Nukem, you idiot. You can't use the same line in another game. What a prick. It really annoyed me, that did. It was just so stupid. And that's not the only reason I hate the game. I hate the game because the level design is really lazy. The characters are shit. The enemies are terrible. The AI is atrocious. You can literally walk up to people and shoot them in the face and they don't care. They just stand there. Oh, it's just so chronic. It was just such a broken piece of crap. I got to this one section and I'm going through some tunnels and I walk through a doorway and there's like a big vine with egg sacs firing these little enemies out. And you got to destroy the egg sacs and then you got to destroy some other things that are on there as well. And I was playing it, I was getting annoyed because I was trying to do it and the ever spawning enemy thing, as cool as the idea is with the egg sacs and stuff, it can get a little frustrating, number two, because you do get overwhelmed. And I was getting overwhelmed, I was getting annoyed, and then suddenly the game crashed, it broke on me. And literally, the dialogue from when I walked through the door started playing, and I was like, hang on, what's going on here? The game started pushing me backwards and reversing on me. The whole level disappeared, and all I got was my hand like that, with no weapon, it was just waving around like this. And I was like, what the hell's going on? And then the game froze up. So, yeah, it's the biggest pile of shit I've ever played, and I absolutely would not recommend it to anyone. It's a disgraceful game. The developers should be absolutely ashamed of themselves that they put that out, and the person who greenlit the game in the first place should be ashamed of themselves because it was a disgrace. When you've got a game like the Conduit, which is so well executed and just lovingly crafted and a brilliant, brilliant game, the sequel should be as good, if not better. It should not be a pile of shit like number 2. I swear to God, if they're even lucky enough to make a number 3, I don't know if it's the same team that worked on both games or different teams. I'm assuming it's different teams because number 2 is so bad. But whoever made this one needs to make the third game, and it needs to be on the new Nintendo system, and it needs to be as stunning as this. Because Conduit 2 is crap. I hate that game with a passion. Right. I'm thirsty now. Alright, last game I've been playing recently. And here's the big one that everyone's playing about, and there's definitely split decisions. Noire. I think this is splitting everybody down the middle on this one. There are quite a few people who absolutely love this game and think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. I am definitely not in that camp. However, I'm not in the camp of absolutely hating the game either. I'm definitely in the middle on this one. I can't make my mind up. It's a really strange game. I'll start with the positives. Positives being I thought the graphics were really good. I thought the environments looked excellent. I thought the character models were fantastic. The facial animation is just absolutely out there. I mean, everyone says it and it really is truly stunning. It's seriously impressive to behold. When you watch their faces move and you see all the little movements from their eyebrows to their eyes, to the cheeks, the mouths, just every little tiny detail is captured and it's really impressive. and especially interrogations, it really does help a lot. Other than that, what else can I say? It's positive. It's tough because there's a lot of negative that really piss me off about the game. I think the biggest positive of all I can say about this game is the fact it's a 20-hour campaign, and it held my attention for 20 hours because the story was so well told. Now, that's a big game, and I'm not a gamer that can play games for that many hours. I find it difficult. It has to really hold my attention, and LA Noire definitely does that. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Or buy the game if you're on the fence still, you're not too sure. Go and buy it just because you get 20 hours of solid gameplay, and it will definitely keep you interested and you'll have fun playing it through. The other positive is going to be the gunplay. Rockstar have never been one for having great cover-based shooting. GTA 4 suffered from it quite a lot. It was getting slightly better, but it wasn't as good as it should be. LA Noire solves that. It's a lot better. It seems a lot more intuitive. You can just tap the button to the cover. You don't feel uncomfortable. It doesn't feel wrong. It's just right. It's nice. The gunplay feels just perfect. You've got the right sensitivity, and you can get headshots quite easily. And yeah, I'm quite impressed with that. I mean, you don't get a lot of shooting in the game, but when you do, it's very nicely done. So the negatives, I've got a lot of little things for me personally. Number one is going to be a basic thing. Why is there no jump button? I don't understand why you cannot jump. You've got little hedges all around the levels and stuff, and you just run against them like that. You just can't jump them. It's like, what the hell? Why would he not be able to jump? I just don't understand the logic. Then there's the cars, and I found it really weird, and maybe it's just my misunderstanding, but because of the time period, they're massive American cars, so I assume they're quite heavy. And yet, I found that the slightest little movement on my analog stick, and the front of the car's like that, it's really loose. And I ended up going into oncoming traffic, and I was like, what the hell is that about? It just didn't feel natural, it felt completely weird. But I didn't like that. Another thing I don't like is the standard Rockstar thing, whereby the dialogue is overused, and the characters consistently repeat themselves. Like when you're in the cars, and your partner's with you, and you'll just keep saying the same bloody thing over, and you'll just criticise you driving over and over and over and over, and you're just sitting there going, for God's sake, I don't want to hear the same line again. You know, as well as that is cutscenes. Rockstar, you know, like a lot of developers, they seem to think that we as gamers, when we die, would like to sit through the same FMV sequence you've just watched. No, I don't want to watch it again. I've watched it once. I don't need to see it a second time, a third time, a fourth time, a fifth time. I'm fed up of hearing the same bloody dialogue. It's like, for God's sake, let me skip it. I mean, why do they do that? I swear it's to annoy us. Another thing I don't like is the acting. There's a lot of really good actors in this, and I shouldn't have said that acting, because that seems that I don't like all of the acting. I do. A lot of the actors, brilliant, and some of the performances, like John Noble in particular, who played Leland Monroe, absolutely stunning. I mean, he's a fantastic actor, and he really shines in this game. Negative acting is definitely Aaron Staton, who plays Cole Phelps. I hate that guy. He ruined it, because for me personally, and it might just be me, I don't know, but watching him play Cole Phelps, he does his best Robert De Niro through the whole of the game. He's constantly doing Robert De Niro impressions, and it really is stupid. And it just comes across as smug and arrogant, and it really annoyed me so much. And also, when you're interrogations, you've got truth, doubt, and lie. Why is it when I press doubt that Cole Phelps has to be so aggressive? It's like, no, you should be aggressive when I accuse someone of lying. If I accuse them of, well, I don't even accuse them. If I have doubt that they're telling me the truth, you should be pushing them a little bit more, and there'd be a little bit more pressure. You shouldn't be trying to leap over the desk. What the hell is that about? It's just so weird. I didn't understand that at all. It was very strange. Yeah, it's such a mixed bag of a game. It didn't grab me and make me think, oh God, this is the most amazing experience I've ever had. And it didn't, on the other hand, make me think, well, this is crap, and turn it off. It was just a good game. It was a fun game to play through, but it wasn't stellar. I've played better, a lot better, and it has had comparisons to games like, you know, Gears of War and Uncharted for its cover-based bit, Heavy Rain for like the interaction with the cutscenes and everything, and the interrogations. The biggest problem I've got with this game is the repetitiveness of it. Now, some people think it's okay, some people don't. I know that Radio 3, when he was talking about this morning, we're talking about the repetitiveness and how it doesn't really bother him as much. Me personally, it does bother me. I got kind of like fed up with the same thing. You go to a crime scene, you know, you find the body, you check the body, you look around for clues, you go and find the witnesses, you investigate the witnesses, talk to them. Then you eventually get to the point where you've arrested someone, so you go and interrogate them, and then you start again. and I just found it kind of boring. It felt to me like there needs to be more variety. It just needed something a little bit extra. It's the repetitiveness for me. The biggest problem I had was that I got really annoyed by the fact that every time I go and see a witness or a potential suspect, should I say, they would end up running away, and it got on my nerves. I was constantly chasing people down alleyways, up walls, across rooftops. And I was like, why have I got to do this every time? Why can't I just take someone into custody? It's ridiculous. And then what really winds me up is when you're chasing someone that you don't have free rein to do what you want to do in order to take them into custody. The game will sometimes it will just make you chase them right down to the end, and then you might end up where they take a hostage and you have to shoot them and kill them, because I couldn't find any way of taking them alive, because if I did, they'd just shoot the hostage. So I ended up shooting them in the face. And then other times you chase someone and Cole would pull his weapon out, and he would do it automatically. You don't have an option to do this on your own, which I hate that. I think it's stupid. And all you can do, you can't shoot the suspect, because then you'd have to start again because you've killed the suspect. So you aim the gun at the suspect when you're close enough, and a little circle comes on the screen, fills up, and once it's full, the cutscene starts off, and Cole shoots in the air, takes him into custody. Which I thought was crap, because why can't you just pull the gun on your own volition and shoot the guy in the leg? I mean, surely that would be more logical. The restraint that they put in this game really annoys me. And yeah, it just seems to be doing the same sort of thing. You always you're either chasing down and punch him, you're chasing down and do a hostage situation, you're chasing down and put a gun in the air, or you're chasing down and jump on him by tapping the X button fast. It just seemed really crap. I don't know, there just seemed to a lot of ideas into one bag here that didn't quite work. And also, why can't you drive cars through fences, like little picket fences on a garden? What the hell's that about? I mean, a massive 1940s American car can't go through a wooden fence. Please. So ridiculous. What else was there? Let me see. There was something else I've got to think there. That's better. What else was there? Oh, I've forgotten, that's really annoying. There was something else that really bugged me about this game. But, yeah, it's a mixed bag. There's some good stuff in there, but there's a lot of, stuff that I wasn't that impressed with, and silly things, as I say, like not being able to jump, the cars not operating the way they should operate. Oh, that was what I was going to say. To do with the cars, the one thing I couldn't get my head around was the fact that when you hit a pedestrian in your car, it would flash up on the screen saying, LAPD officers, shouldn't be doing this, that and the other, and you're not allowed to kill innocents. But you never kill them, they just bounce off the car, fall on the floor, get back up and carry on walking, and you'd never get a true reprimand. I mean, I'd have expected to have to start the mission again, or to get a cutscene where Cole gets a kicking off his boss. But you never get that, and so I never felt like there was any repercussions for actually destroying property or killing an innocent person, even though you can't actually kill them, but hitting them with a car. I thought that was really dumb. So yeah, I'm kind of not that impressed, but I kind of am. It's a weird mix. As I say, I really enjoyed it for 20 hours. The story was great, well written, well acted, except for Phelps, and well presented. And it kept me gripped till the end to find out what the reasons for everything that was happening were. And it was interesting. One thing I did like was when you inspect the bodies, and it was just for the comedy factor. Because Cole would step over the body, and you press the X, and he leans in like that, puts his hand on the head, and you can grab the head and manipulate the head like that. It was really funny. Or you get the arm and go, that just cracked me up, that bit. It was really funny. And I was just sitting there for ages, just grabbing a dead body's hand and going, I'm flopping it around, but I don't know, it's just weird. That's me. But I liked it anyway. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's an interesting game, and I would definitely 100% say play it, because it's not a game that's crap, it's not a game that's amazing to me personally, but it is a game that's definitely worth playing and making your own opinions about, because it's definitely giving a lot of opinions to a lot of people, and everyone's got a different opinion on the game, which I like. I think that's great, because it really does create a fantastic discussion about it, and so Rockstar have done a good thing in that respect. So yeah, go and play it, pay your money and enjoy it. It's worth every penny of the £40 or $60, no doubt about that. 20 hours of gameplay I think is well worth full price. Considering a lot of the games nowadays are very short, you don't get your money's worth at all. Excellent. So yeah, as I say, despite all the negatives, and they are ridiculous things that should not be happening in games nowadays, especially not being able to jump. That is dumb. Oh yeah, that was one. Oh God, I'm going to be all day. One last thing that wound me up in the control scheme was the run. Now on the PS3 version you use R2 to run. Now the problem I had was it wasn't analogued. You literally be standing there and you press it and he'd run into a sprint straight away. And a lot of the time I'd find that I'd end up running into corners of rooms. I'd be running against staircases, against walls, against hedges because I couldn't jump them. It was really weird. He didn't have a proper control over the run. I didn't understand why he did that. It was very strange. So yeah, it's a very mixed bag. I've not tried the DLC yet. I've got the Naked City on here, so I need to have a look at that and see what that's like. But overall, if I was going to rate the game, I would probably give it a 7. Yeah, 7 out of 10. I was going to say 7.5, but no. I'll give it a 7 out of 10 just because of all those little niggly things that shouldn't be there. Just because hopefully if they make LA Noire 2, which I hope they do because it'd be interesting to see how it turns out, they will change all of that and make it better next time. And hopefully Aaron Staton will get sacked and we'll get a better actor for Cole Phelps. That'd be quite nice. I'm probably going to get loads of comments now. People are going to go, well, I don't think his acting was that bad. Me personally, it just annoyed me because of his De Niro mannerisms that he kept doing, and it was just really silly. So yeah, so there you go guys, those are the pile of games I've been playing recently, and that's quite a big pile. As I say, I'm still playing for a few of them anyway, and I'm trying my best. And yeah, there you go. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'd love to hear your opinions on any of those games. I'd be interested to see what you think. I know I'm going to hear a lot about LA Noire, because I know a lot of people have got opinions, so it'd be good to hear what you all think. And if anyone wants to post a video response as well as to their opinions on LA Noire, please feel free to do so, because I never block any video responses. I never even check them myself. I have it on automatic, so as soon as you post one, it just gets attached to my video. So thank you for watching guys, and as always, I will see you again soon.